What is going on, y'all, man? We are live. The year is 2020, and the Rotation podcast is back in full effect. I'm your host, A.Cain. Things are a little different now since the last episode we've done. I believe the last episode of the Rotation podcast I did was with my good friend, my nigga, my brother, my nigga Justin, aka 50 Cent, when we did his Playground Lift interview. And I got to get him back on here, by the way. He's been asking to do another one. And so much, especially since that podcast, whole bunch of shit's been going on for him and his brand, along with us and what we got here going on at MADstudios, man. But like I said, it's 2020. Things are a little different now. My brother Alex is out in Irvine doing his thing. My nigga's the maintenance man of the year. But the next time he does, because he comes out here a lot, but when he does come out here, he has to make sure he links up with moms and the sisters and everything like that. But I definitely got to get him on here, man. But I'm gonna do my best to keep the rotation going. Me and him had a lengthy conversation, and he gave me the green light and told me to do it and do it my way. So we're back, and I'm happy as fuck. A lot of shit has changed, especially what we got going on with MADstudios and Beyond Aware and the whole cast and crew. Everybody's on their shit. Everybody's doing their thing. Again, it's 2020. It's been a while. I'm watching Palpatine just electrocute niggas right now. But I mean, I told myself when I bring this podcast back, especially for this first episode, I kind of want to just recap the shit I'm interested in, especially with this last year and a half or so since we last did one. All the shit that I'm interested in, especially for this first episode, and then like for episodes after this one, have just conversations with the homies, and we discuss what's going on with them, and then also the shit that they're interested in, the shit they're pursuing 2020. You know the motto for the Rotation podcast, man. Chill with us, smoke with us, vibe with us, discuss. Just had a podcast right now, episode for Radio Geonosis with Angie and my nigga David, who whenever he gets to come out, he talks like the most shit, and he was just really, really disappointed with Star Wars Episode 9, which I didn't even think that was a bad movie, but apparently I'm a piece of shit for thinking I love it so much. When this episode drops, I want you guys to let me know if you fucked with Star Wars Episode 9, man. The Rotation podcast is geared toward the geeks. I'm going to say it. It's geared toward the nerds and the stoners. This podcast is not to be taken too seriously, unless I was to talk about like some talk about religion or government, which I rarely would even do. I just tweeted actually today like it's a subject that I would never bring up just because it's so sensitive. You bring up something about religion, what the fuck? Like, everybody's just ready to go in. So I'm not even going to bring up religion, especially government. They tie in hand. Usually your religion determines what you believe goes on in government. So I'm not even going to bring up either one of those things. But again, going back to it, I want you guys to let me know what you guys think of Episode 9. And I'm going to really try something I wanted to do the last time we were doing the Rotation podcast. Not so much have people call in, but you know what I mean? Like, I want to call people I know who fuck with the Rotation podcast. There's a few, especially over like this year and a half or so, who's asking if it was ever going to come back. And the answer, of course, now is like, fuck yeah. It took a minute, man, especially getting adjusted with Al moving and Silverback moving, who was like basically just another host. He was basically on every episode. But again, with Al giving me like the go and like telling me, nigga, do it the way you want to do it. We're back better than ever. Since then, Konami and Pat have a podcast, Nights of Waifu. Make sure you guys check out their podcast. Make sure you guys are tapping in with the Beyond Aware, www.thebaproject.com. Again, www.thebaproject.com. Make sure you guys follow MADstudios on Instagram at MADstudios HQ. And we also got to low key see what's up with that BA Twitter. That BA Twitter, the BA, I want to BA Twitter. I'm on tagging me on Twitter sometimes, man. I'm going to that page. I'm just like, wow, this shit is mad outdated, bro. We still got what's her name on the bike. That shit is mad outdated, so we gotta make sure we do that. I will you know what? I'll fuck with the BA because I'm on Twitter so much anyway. I'll fuck with the BA Twitter account. At least make sure like our, you know, we got some shit updated. Have something pinned on the Twitter or something like that.
I don't remember the password.
You said what?
I don't remember the password.
Yeah, we got an email. We'll figure out as soon as we get the password. We'll figure it out, man. Because we definitely got to be up to date on Twitter. Twitter's like Twitter. I don't want to say Twitter's making a comeback because Twitter's always been there. But especially with this political climate we're in, and how many people are in the running for different, because it is election season coming up this November. A lot of people in politics use Twitter. They don't even use Instagram like that. Yeah, they use Instagram, but not like that. Like Twitter's still where you go to for world and global news and shit like that. So I want to say it's making a comeback because it's always been there, but like every time you get around these election times, election years, and Twitter seems to get just a little more amped up. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure we get the Twitter going. This episode though in particular, if you fucking know me, you know I'm a huge fan of sports, and one of the last episodes of the rotation we did, it wasn't during any major sports season. That episode, and you know I got a lot of all the niggas who basically come through here and are part of what we got going on. Niggas are sports fans, and we are in NBA All-Star game is right around the corner. It's in February. We're in January right now, but right now the big shit popping off is the NFL playoffs, and one thing I wanted to say about last week was, and when this episode dropped, y'all can leave a comment, whatever, because I'm gonna have whatever best 2-minute stretch a dialogue I have is what I plan on putting on the rotation Instagram, so you guys can leave comments. So I want to know what you guys thought about. What I want to know is Mike Vrabel really a good coach? Because every time it seems like, bless you, bro, every time it seems like a coach winning, you know what I mean, or a coach. Because I grew up watching Mike Vrabel play, you know what I'm saying? Arlie sitting right next to me. Arlie fucking sports. Because now we don't fuck with that shit. He got his headphones in, like finger fucking the shit out that mouse. But I grew up watching Mike Vrabel play. And now you hear shit about like, oh yeah, I was in a locker room with Mike Vrabel. I knew he was going to be an outstanding coach. I didn't know this nigga could coach. I really didn't. But apparently, you know what I mean? So apparently he can't coach. I mean, it's not like the Titans were fucking a 12-4 or something like that. They were like, they squeaked in. So I guess we'll see. But I want to know if you guys think the Titans were just... Did he really have a scheme in place, or did the Ravens kind of take too long? As far as like, you think they had a long break? You know what I mean? Was it a long break? Was the Titans just better than them? Was the game plan better on the Titans end, or do you think the Ravens were just, they kind of walked in thinking they were just gonna smack the fucking Titans, or was that break just a little too long? I think the Titans are obviously like peaking at the right time. They were like, they won like fucking like 7 of their last 3 or some shit like that since Ryan Tannehill took over. The passing numbers like skyrocketed from like 200 to like 260. Points per game skyrocketed from like fucking like 18 to like damn near 30 since fucking Ryan Tannehill took over the starting job over Marcus Mariota. And which it's fucked up, but like the Titans really stopped playing for that nigga Marcus Mariota. You saw it. They didn't really, and you don't want to say that shit about offensive linemen, bro. But like, they offensive linemen, those niggas are really in the trenches, and they know who they want their quarterback to be. You know what I mean? And Marcus Mariota was just getting fucked up. You know what I mean? It's not that he was a bad quarterback. He just lost the squad. He just lost the squad as just the quarterback. They weren't doing shit with him. Ryan Tannehill comes along from the Dolphins. You kind of write him off, but then you gotta also remember, like, if you really watch football, Ryan Tannehill wasn't trash. Just the Dolphins didn't really have shit. You know what I mean? Like the Dolphins, when Ryan Tannehill was like getting fucked over at the Dolphins, they were already still trying to figure. That's when they started. They didn't just start rebuilding like this year. The fucking Dolphins been rebuilding for a minute. So it's not like Ryan Tannehill was like just straight boo. He really didn't have no shit around him. He got some young receivers around him. He got fucking Derrick Henry just eating shit up. I mean, I think his yards per game was like 80 yards per game in the playoffs. But I mean, if you got Derrick Henry running for fucking 182, then 195, then you really don't need to throw shit. He's running and he's getting 2 touchdowns a game. All you gotta do a couple play action passes, get a 1-yard touchdown pass and a fucking 25-yard touchdown pass off play action. You straight. You don't need fucking 300. And playoff football is different anyway. So I want to know about that. What you guys think? Did the Ravens were they just on a long break, or did Mike Vrabel and Titans like really fucking like out-bully them and beat them at their own game? And then I did. As far as the Seahawks and Packers, I really did think I thought the Seahawks were gonna really. I thought they were gonna win, but I also did say if Russell Wilson holds the ball too long, that they were gonna lose, and that's what happened, bro. He was just holding the ball too long. It was a little bit too late towards the end. Green Bay has a defense, like that's for sure. Like Green Bay does have a defense. It's not that Seattle. I mean, Seattle don't have the running backs. You can say that too, but Green Bay does have a defense. Stephen A. Smith says like Matt LaFleur that they got them playing defense. Oh fuck! Right now, I got some lo-fi playing in the background, and I got Star Wars Episode 3 playing in the background from the Rotation podcast that was just recorded not long from like maybe 30 minutes ago. Radio Geonosis, I'm sorry, Radio Geonosis. And Anakin he just slaughtered the younglings, and she can feel it in her soul, bro. She knows something's going on. You know what I mean? Padme knows shit ain't right. It's like Anakin, nigga, what makes you think? And he's doing all this shit for Padme, bro. Anakin is going on this wild ass killing spree, all for Padme. I know your life fucked up, my nigga. I knew you grew up in you sold as a child. You and your mom slaves. Look at this young brave Jedi right here, man. Took out 4 of them off the front flip. Off the front foot, took out 5 of them. Senator Organa gotta get the fuck up out of here in a space Cadillac. Gotta get the fuck out of there. But yeah, Anakin, what makes you think that was gonna give Padme invulnerability? Nigga, like you just killing younglings. That shit don't make no sense. But anyways, going back to what I was saying too, it's easy to get distracted with the Star Wars shit, man, because the movie's taking that turn right now. But again, the Packers handle business. It might be Aaron Rodgers' year, bro. It might be. It might be the year of the Packers. Because he got a defense now. Devontae Adams is back. They already look like they got a connection going. And it's crazy, though. Aaron Rodgers was 16 for 27. 243 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm not going to front, though. Those aren't Aaron Rodgers numbers. Those aren't... And what I mean by this, a good game he won. No shit, I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying nothing bad. But you remember when Aaron Rodgers would be like 26 for 26, 980 yards? Like, remember when Aaron Rodgers, you know what I mean? He stepped on the field, Aaron Rodgers throw 17 touchdowns in a game. Nah, I'm just bullshit. But like, I wonder if it's that. I wonder if it's that calf. I don't want to say his age. You know what I mean? Because not like Aaron Rodgers is an old guy. What, 34? How old is Aaron Rodgers?
36. Ooh,
36.
36, 37, I think.
Got some bad calves. But again, I mean, shit. Aaron Rodgers got a defense. Aaron Rodgers is still better than what Peyton Manning was when he won the Super Bowl with the Broncos. And Aaron Rodgers got a defense, so who knows? You know what I mean? I really hope Matt LaFleur lets this nigga Aaron Jones run. See, this is also one thing, and this, Aaron Rodgers, if you ever hear this podcast, bro, like, don't take anything to offense. I smoked a little bit. I'm going to veer off. But these are the things I think about, like, as a sports fan, bro. Like, in my own perception of players, because I'm a sports fan. If you know me, then you'll catch me watching highlights till 3 in the morning in the corner, tapping in. I'm doing analytics. You know what I mean? We looking up career stats and numbers and averages, and we're some sports fans over here at MADstudios, man. No cap. Aaron Rodgers seems like a difficult nigga to work with, man. But it's understandable. All the greats were not easy to work with, and none of them accepted when it was their time. Aaron Jones is a motherfucking beast, bro. This nigga's a superstar, man. And running backs, they get that window. Like 4 years, 5 years, they get that window. People saying Ezekiel Elliott's already done. Todd Gurley is like, damn, I don't even want to go off topic right now, but Todd Gurley, my nigga, man. The knees. That arthritis. But back to Aaron Jones is a beast, though. And the Packers haven't had a running back since that one fat nigga. Eddie Lacy. Number 27. Eddie Lacy came in with a 1,000-yard season, though.
Yeah, he only had
2 good years. Damn, Eddie. Packers got a running back. Packers got 2. They got 2 legitimate number ones, but Aaron Jones is a beast. Aaron Jones is a different kind of nigga and was robbed of the Pro Bowl. How?
He had 19 touchdowns.
19, bro. Came out of left field, came out of nowhere, straight up dual threat running back. Run and catch. There's not a lot of those out there. Shit, the Packers got 2. Both of their running backs could do that. Aaron Jones is just a different type of nigga, though. You can see it.
What about San Fran, though?
Here's the thing about San Fran, though. I'm going to keep it a buck. I ain't seen no rushing attack like this, man. Never. Ever in my life. Ever in my life. I've never seen... Yeah, you can say the Ravens, but I'm just talking about all running backs. If we know Lamar ain't no running back, that nigga... He'll send his goons right now if you call that nigga a running back. So I'm not going to count the Ravens. But San Fran has a rushing... I've never... I don't know if it's they blocking. Look, Kyle Shanahan was over in Atlanta, so I know how you get busy. You know what I mean? I know it's a zone run scheme. He spaces out the linemen, these big-ass creases, and they gone. But you could tell that he handpicked his squad, bro. That nigga's the only coach coming to the game rocking off-white and Yeezys and shit. Swagged up on the sideline with the bomber jacket with the hat. Like, this nigga Kyle Shanahan, a little piece of shit, nigga. But he handpicked that squad. Him and John Lynch. That musclehead ass nigga. You could tell they really handpicked their squad, bro. Because they every game you know what you finna get. There was only that one game against the Saints where Jimmy G surprised the shit out of me and went toe for toe with Drew Brees. Which I could be a little premature saying this. I don't see that shit happening again. As far as Jimmy G, he'll never have that chance again. Really, I don't think to really, because you don't really need him to do that. I don't know what about that game where it became a shootout like that. Saints usually have a good defense. San Francisco usually has a good defense. I don't know. That game was a little. I was surprised by that game for them to score so much. You know what I mean? Or maybe those are just two teams that, you know what I mean, when two heavyweights meet, that shit happens. But Jimmy G don't need to throw that many yards for them to win, because that running game is crazy. All he got to do and all he has been doing is hit George Kittle. Let that nigga take care of the rest while the running game just eat. George Kittle is the best tight end in football, bro. It's hard to. Travis Kelce had a game, but Patrick Mahomes is better than Jimmy G. So automatically, you have a better quarterback. He's gonna find you. I'm not taking anything away from Travis Kelce. That nigga's a beast, but George Kittle's a fucking beast, bro. And I'm giving the nod to George Kittle just because that nigga blocks. So now, since the Ravens are out of it, I want to see the 49ers and KC go at it. You know what I mean? Like, I know Arlie's a Packers fan, bro. I know. But, and this is fucked up because my nigga's a Packers fan. And you know what? If that might actually be a good Super Bowl, because that would see if the Packers really do got that legit defense, see if they can stop Patrick Mahomes. So actually, I may have spoken too soon. I don't know.
It just can't be the Titans in it.
It can't be the Titans in the Super Bowl. I don't want this Cinderella story, nigga. Like, I don't want this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. You know what I mean? I don't want to see the Titans in it. I can't see myself, like, requesting the Super Bowl off because I need to see the Titans in the Super Bowl. Like, yo, yeah, can I get February? Because the Titans about to play like, fuck no, I don't give a shit. I don't want to see that. I need to see the Lamar Jackson is out. Deshaun Watson is out. Those are two emerging quarterbacks in the NFL. They out of here. Jimmy G, he's still young. He's still emerging. He still has to, like, cement his name. So, yeah, you can see that. You can say that. Aaron Rodgers being a crafty vet. I would want Aaron Rodgers to get one more, though, because I fuck with Aaron Rodgers. I just know he is like a dicky team. I know he's like a dick as a team. I know he is, bro. I know he is, bro. He's at those Milwaukee Buck games, and the crowd's like telling him to chug, and he's just like, fuck them. And even Danica Patrick's like, no, go ahead, chug. He's like, no, like, fuck this shit. Get my All-State. Like, man, he's still gonna be not All-State, State Farm. But again, like I said, the greats, they gotta be that way, man. You can't be at the Milwaukee game just chugging beers. They're like, what the fuck's wrong with this nigga? That's why you fucking, you know what I mean?
Baker Mayfield.
You know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield chugging beers at fucking the Cleveland Indians game and shit. Fucking Baker. I'm not even gonna talk about that again. But I mean, as far as the Super Bowl, I wouldn't mind seeing the Packers in it either. Packers and Chiefs. Again, Aaron Rodgers versus Aaron Rodgers. They, like Max Kellerman be saying all the time, I hear him say Aaron Rodgers 2.0. That being Patrick Mahomes. Real shit though. I remember, and that's what I like about being 30, bro. And listeners out there too. I seen when Aaron Rodgers got that start. I seen Aaron Rodgers become Aaron Rodgers, and I get to see Patrick Mahomes create his legacy too. As you know, as I've never, for a cool minute, I'm talking about me, and I'm a Falcons fan. I've got to, like, Matt Ryan's the franchise's best quarterback. Like, shout out to Michael Vick. That's the best. That was the most talented player in our fucking Falcons history. But no, you could actually say Julio. Talk to me, Julio and Mike Vick. But I'm getting off track. Matt Ryan is like still he's still a good. He's putting up numbers. Like, I could say, like, my team's had a franchise quarterback. We do have to start peaking and start looking in another direction, though, because the NFL is changing. But it's dope to be able to see, like, I've seen Aaron Rodgers become that franchise quarterback. And then again to see Patrick Mahomes do the same thing and taking that shit up to a whole nother level. Because I remember when Aaron Rodgers was doing this shit and just putting up crazy shit and going on his run for those years and everything, even winning the Super Bowl, to now, like Patrick Mahomes, like taking the shit I seen Aaron Rodgers do that I never seen anybody do, any quarterback especially, doing the shit he's doing. Like, shit's crazy. So that would be dope to see too. But it would be dope if Aaron Rodgers and him had a shootout. It wouldn't be dope if the score was fucking 17 to 24. Like, even though 24, it would be dope if Aaron Rodgers had 5 touchdown passes and Patrick Mahomes had 5 touchdown passes and shit like that. Then it would be like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? It would be like, this nigga's not done yet, you know what I mean? Like, don't count him out yet. This nigga's throwing 5 TDs in this. So yeah, that would be dope as fuck if the scenarios went that way. So who you guys got in the Super Bowl? 49ers, KC, because I don't see the Titans stopping Patrick Mahomes. I could be wrong. Again, they peaking at the right time, but I just don't see it. You know, this nigga Patrick Mahomes is like, this nigga's like Stephen Curry, like on the football field. This nigga can do whatever the fuck he want. You know what I'm saying? Or do you have, you know what I mean? Do you have the 49ers and the Titans? Do you have the Packers and the Titans? Who you got? And shout out to my Lakers before I end this sports segment. Shout out to my Lakers. This podcast isn't going to be too much longer. It's not 26 minutes right now. It's cool. Shout out to my Lakers though. Shout out to Snoop Dogg for saying what he said on Christmas, because ever since Christmas, we've been fucking shit up. Ever since Snoop Dogg called out Caldwell Pope, Danny Green, nigga, on Christmas, bro, Lakers been on that streak, nigga. Because one thing about Rob Pelinka, like, and I always say, I never not liked Rob Pelinka. I didn't fuck with Magic Johnson as a GM, though, because this nigga's just, he want to be everybody's friend and shit, and you can't. And that's why Rob Pelinka had to tell this nigga, like, he low-key snitched on him, but, like, he was just like, I have to snitch on this nigga because he fucking this shit up. He just want to take niggas to the Magic Johnson Theater and TGI Fridays and laugh with niggas. Like, nah, nigga, you can't do that shit, nigga. You gotta be cutthroat as fuck when you're trying to rebuild a fucking, you know what I mean? When you're trying to rebuild a dynasty. You can't be taking niggas to, you know what I mean, to Denny's and shit just because your face is on the menu. Try the Magic Johnson breakfast and try the Magic Johnson milkshake. Like, no one want that shit, nigga. We trying to trade niggas and get, you know what I mean? So shout out to Rob. Rob, I'm going to give you a credit, bro. Shout out to you, nigga, because we looking right. We're just missing one wing defender who could get his own shot. Nigga don't even got to be the best three-point shooter. He just needs to lock up on the wing. Because LeBron is about to get ready to not want to play defense in the second half of the season because he's about to rest himself. Anthony Davis over here, clumsy as fuck still. And if this podcast ever got big and I ever got to the point where I'm interviewing players and shit, none of y'all niggas take this personally, bro. Y'all know this shit is true. AD, you clumsy, my nigga. You just be falling and shit, slipping like, bro. And you be out for 6 games. Lift your legs up, nigga. We clearly need you. Dwight's doing this shit. JaVale's doing this shit. Don't get me wrong. I fuck with them niggas. Fuck with all y'all. But nigga, that fall you took against the New York Knicks should not have happened. And then after the game, they asked LeBron, what did AD? What did he say? What did he tell you when he walked off the court? And LeBron's like, he told me to get a win. Like, what the fuck? Why y'all niggas acting like y'all going off the battle? Niggas, the New York Knicks. He told me to make sure I got the win. Like, what the nigga? First of all, you shouldn't have been in the game. Y'all smacking these niggas. And for you to fall the way you did, it could have been avoided. Julius Randle had the rebound, nigga. Why did you jump on this nigga back and nigga, you 7 feet tall, 280, nigga. Julius Randle's a big nigga. Don't get me wrong, but Julius Randle's he's a bull, nigga. Julius Randle was known for being like a raging bull, nigga. He got the board. Leave that shit alone. And then I'm thinking like, yo, my nigga back is broken and shit. My nigga got spinal bifida, whatever the fuck. He got all kinds of wild shit. Nigga, your ass got bruised, nigga. It said a bruised buttocks. I said, come on, nigga. How, bro? So, AD, look. That's why when people knew they were playing the Pelicans, they wasn't tripping because they knew your clumsy ass would not probably be playing. What I need you to do, stop that shit, nigga. Lift your legs up. Stop falling on your ass, nigga. This is our year. And then, look, one more thing before I get off the Clippers and shit. Off the Lakers, and I talk about the Clippers real quick. These are just things since the last rotation. Again, like this episode, I'm talking about the shit I want to get off my chest. From sports to media to music. Just for this mere 35 minutes. You know what I mean? We cannot let the Clippers win. I think we meet again. I want to say I think it's after the All-Star break. Let me tell you something about all you Clippers fans real quick, man. Shut the fuck up. You niggas swear that y'all won a ring. Y'all ain't win shit. Y'all had Chris Paul, Blake Griffin in his prime. Chris Paul in his prime. DeAndre Jordan in his prime. Jamal Crawford still in his prime. And y'all still ain't do shit. Still. Jerry West was y'all VP of like player personnel, some shit like that. Or he is now. Even at that time, I think he was. He just came over from the Warriors and went over there. Y'all ain't do shit. And Jerry West, that is fucked up. I know you're a legend again, nigga, but how could you be... It's a Lake. Why would you a Laker, bro? When is that ever cool? Just because you the logo? I'm not trying to tarnish what you've done for the game, but being what you were and are to the Lakers brand, for you to go over next door to the neighbors who never got no sugar, nigga, that's fucked up. So that's one. Let me just get that out there. Clipper fans, again, y'all ain't win shit. When y'all was trash for those 2 years recently that just happened, you guys were nowhere to be found. Nowhere. I'm gonna give y'all regular season credit when y'all had, again, Chris Paul at his prime, Blake at his prime, DeAndre at his prime. I'm gonna give y'all those 50-win seasons, but y'all ain't do shit. None of those years y'all did nothing. And for those little 2 years strong where y'all was trash as fuck again, you guys were nowhere to be found. But here y'all go again. The Claw, Paul George, man, fuck y'all. Paul George, nigga, please. I grew up a Clipper fan. The fuck? You grew up a Clipper fan or you like some niggas on the squad? Because I was raised in LA, nigga. I know exactly what kind of nigga. You did. It wasn't that you were a Clipper fan, nigga. That's a lie. But did you fuck with Corey Maggette? Yeah. Darius Miles? Yeah. Quentin Richardson? Yeah. Sean Livingston before his knee got fucked up? Yep. Shit, nigga. Lamont Murray from the 90s? Yep. But a Clipper fan, nigga? Please. A fan of what? See, let me tell y'all something just really quick. Growing up in LA, there was no room for you to be a Clipper fan. My years living there, bro, my first field trip was my first middle school field trip was to a Clipper Timberwolves game. And I remember this shit like yesterday. My homie Lamont led a fucking revolution on the bus saying we didn't want to fucking go to this game. I remember that shit like yesterday. They kicked this nigga off the bus because he kept cussing and trying to like tell the teachers we don't want to go to this game. He couldn't go. And we got jealous that he stayed. You would think, oh, some little dirty ass, we would let her go to. We didn't want to see the fucking Clippers. My shit was like, yo, y'all could only afford Clipper tickets? We can't go to the Laker game? We can't see Kobe? We can't see Shaq? Robert Ory, Rick Fox, nigga? We can't see Ron Harper, nigga? We gotta watch fucking the Clippers, nigga? I gotta watch Sam Cassell. I don't even think Sam Cassell was on. I don't even know who was on the team. I think it was Darren Smiles and Quentin Richard when it was at that time. Yeah, there was some young niggas dunking and doing the fucking forehead shit, but nigga. Nigga. Yeah, I get it, but I'd rather, nigga, the Lakers, nigga. Send me to a Sparks game before you send me to a fucking, at that time. Only dope thing about that game was fucking Kevin Garnett, I believe, put up like fucking 47. This nigga was on fire, nigga. That was the only dope thing about that game. And he still had his Nike contract that game. So that nigga, he walked out in like those Timberwolf Air Zoom Nike. That was the dopest thing about that game. So Clipper fans, all you Clipper fans coming out of nowhere now again, coming from hiding from underneath y'all rock, fuck y'all. But that nigga Kawhi Leonard's no joke, nigga. I will say that. But we knew that shit already, though. We knew Kawhi Leonard was no joke. This nigga took this. Hey. But again, fuck that nigga. Again, you a Clipper fan. This nigga, he don't even want to play for y'all like that. This nigga be sending out hella games. But it's load management. You don't want to. No, nigga. This nigga Kawhi Leonard be missing games. If this nigga was in school, this nigga would have been got expelled already. This nigga don't play no games. But he trying to save himself for the playoffs. No, nigga. I sound like I came from another era. The superstars played, bro. When you're a superstar in the NBA, all sports, it's only the NBA that do this shit. Load management. Nigga, y'all hooping. Yeah, it's easy for me to say I ain't out there jumping 10 feet in the air, 30 feet, doing tomahawk dunks and shit. Yeah, nigga, I know, but still, nigga. Them niggas in the 80s were playing in Converse. Playing all the games. Y'all niggas got shoes with shark skin springs that make it. Nigga, arm sleeves and compression short. Nigga, these niggas were playing in Chucks. Getting blisters and shit. I need load management. Playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers got me tired as fuck. You fucking kidding me? But as soon as Kawhi see a team under 500 on the schedule, he's like, oh, I'll play. Put me in, coach. Who we playing? We playing the Orlando Magic? Bet, I'll play. Oh, we got to play the Milwaukee Bucks? Oh, I'm tired, nigga. Like, let me chill. No. So, Clipper fans, fuck out of here. Lakers, we gotta beat these niggas though during the regular. That's the only way Laker fans are gonna go into the playoffs with a, you know what I mean, with our guard down a little bit. You know what I mean? Because we for sure gonna have to meet them. I don't see any of the team really a threat to the Clippers or Lakers, so we gonna for sure have to meet. That's a definite. Other things I want to do before I end this podcast. Oh, still good timing actually. I want to make sure I say this before the battery dies. Shout out again to my brother Alex for letting me go ahead and doing the rotation podcast and bringing it back. Shout out to JJ Abrams for making episode 9. Shit's lit to me. It's crazy. I had Angie and David low key agreeing with my subtleness of like just like the mind state of like, yo, we got to see, we got a movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy, especially when you're a fan of whether it's the Marvel movies, the DC movies, being a fan of the characters, the comic books, the Star Wars movies, vice versa. We've gotten spoiled, bro. You know what I mean? We've gotten spoiled. Well, I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking to the listeners. We've gotten spoiled. It's crazy when you meet someone who's not really I work at Red Robin, so I have to conversate with guests. And when Star Wars came out, there were a lot of people, whether male, female, kids, it's their first time seeing it. But the loved one, the person that they're with, whether it's their loved one, their girlfriend, they're a fan of them. And there was one gentleman who came into my job, and his wife doesn't really fuck, but it's his wife, so of course she's gonna go see the movie with her dude, you know what I mean? They're like in their 40s. And he had his dislikes about the movie, but he liked the movie too. We also said some shit he was frustrated about. And you know what she said? Like while he was talking to it, and he was more so complaining to me like what he didn't like, which is cool, you know what I mean? And she said when the first movies come out, babe, like she's asking him, and he's like, oh, is it the 70s? And I said, wasn't it like 76 or something? Like, yeah. She asked him how old he was. He was like, oh, I was this age, whatever. And she was like, oh, you gotta thank God that you were like alive this long to see it. That's cool. That you got to see like episode 9 of it. And I couldn't help but look at this nigga like, you see what, like, nigga? You doing all this fucking complaining. You're not looking at you're not looking at the most important thing is like, you saw episode 9. There's a Star Wars fan there was a Star Wars fan, a bigger Star Wars fan than you, who last saw Star Wars. His last Star Wars movie was episode 7. The last Star Wars movie he saw was The Last Jedi. The last Star Wars movie she or he saw was episode 3. And you got to see episode 9. You were just like, dang. Appreciate the small things. It's, you know what I'm saying? We've been so spoiled rotten. Trust me, I was one of those people. It's not like the comic book and fuck life and shit. Trust me, the biggest. Still am, especially if it's something I'm passionate about. Trust me, if they made Steve Rogers fight in a Nike velour suit, I'd be like, this ain't like the comic books. I'll be mad as fuck. So there's certain things, absolutely. especially when you're a fan of them. But at the end of the day, you also got to appreciate the fact that you're seeing it. They made it. It's made. Because are you going to go make your own version of it? Are you going to go make your version a better version of your Star Wars Episode 9? Likelihood you're not. So, can those directors get a little bit of props? At least you made it, man. At least you brought what I love to the screen. It's shit. Yeah, it's not what I wanted, but at least I got to leave with an idea of it. I got to see it. I got to experience it. Because now too, especially like with social media like that, and I see a lot more movie directors, a lot more executive producers making Instagram accounts. They're making Instagram accounts. And they're like, oh yeah, you know, they're hitting that accept button and shit. Just like, oh, okay, it's my first time on Twitter and Instagram. And like, imagine that first come to see him like, you fucked up everything. They're just like, fuck. That shit has to, and again, you see these directors, especially like these last 5 years, how many directors have just dropped out of doing films? The best example we got right now is Zack Snyder. The shit he was just getting online left and right. Fuck you. Fuck. And now everyone's like, well, where's the Snyder cut? Where's the Snyder direct? He's probably thinking like, what the fuck? You guys just wanted to hang me. Now you guys want my Snyder cut. No, I'm keeping that shit for myself. Can't please everybody. But everyone acts as though there's going to be shit you don't like. Unless you go and make your version of, you know what I mean? Then you kind of just got to sit back and deal with it. You're the consumer. Until otherwise, until you become, again, I was one of those people. This shit's wrong. This shit isn't accurate. This shit is fucked up. No, she's supposed to have this. He's supposed to have... I'm telling you. But I can't even act like when I left the movie that I was like, yo, I can't believe I fucking saw. I can't believe this shit was made. I can't believe they put this shit on screen. I bought my ticket, fucking my popcorn. I come on watching this shit. You can't get shit out. It's impossible. It's impossible to just take shit out from just a comic book page. Just I'm gonna rip this page and I'm gonna rip this page off and put it on fucking film. You can't. It's impossible, man. Can't do it. Can't do it. Like I said earlier, we were watching episode 3 and Obi-Wan Kenobi told Anakin he had the high ground, and he did. He did have the high ground. But I really got to give Anakin props. That nigga was about to do an insane flip. And Obi-Wan was like, this young nigga, man. But was it code for this nigga to leave his homie to burn like that? Or like Angie said, I never even thought about that. Angie was like, oh. Angie being the host of Radio Geonosis, make sure you guys follow up. She said, shouldn't Obi-Wan just stick the lightsaber through his head? No, that would kind of be like that would kind of be more like as a knight, as a warrior, like the thing to do. Like, man, let me just kill. He's just watching this. He can't even look. But at this point, of course, he's thinking, "Oh, this nigga's about to cook right now."
He's dead.
But you gotta walk up and just slice the nigga head off, though. You know, all right, nigga, fuck, you just crying. He's just looking at this nigga cook.
Bounce, man.
2020's here. The rotation is back. And I basically wanted to cap that. I wanted to cap that ending off with 2020, man. Just be appreciative, man. 2020. This shit is crazy. Next episode, I want to talk about the Morbius trailer. I want to talk about that Black Widow trailer. I want to talk about that Jedi Fallen Order game. Again, shout out to the people at EA. Battlefront 2 is officially the best online game I've ever played, other than Xenoverse 2. I re-downloaded my Battlefront 2 the other day, and fuck. That shit was incredible. So shout out to the... I don't know what they did. They patched shit up. They redid shit. This shit is in... If you got Call of Duty, get this Battlefront 2. This shit's on the PlayStation Network for like $19 right now, I think. Maybe 14. Get that shit. And I also want to talk about if you feel the fans should vote for All-Star Game, because right now, look, I'm a Laker fan and all, but this nigga Alex Caruso has some of the highest votes. This nigga is not an All-Star. Alex Caruso, I'm sorry, my nigga, but you're not an All-Star, bro. I don't think the voting should be left up to the fans, because the fans are doing some stupid ass shit. And for sure, by the next episode, we'll have a football game to discuss too. I believe on the next episode, I will have the Ramos brothers on. If you're not familiar with Derek or Dev Ramos, as far as Victorville goes, was a pioneer of podcasts. He was doing podcasts before podcasts were what they are now. Straight out the garage. We used to do episodes in front of the Toyota Matrix. Fridge is right there. You can hear the beer close when we get in the fucking lager off the fridge. Derek Ramos, Baking Meats Collective, producer extraordinaire, video editor extraordinaire. My nigga just won a fucking Emmy. Those are going to be my guests. It is a Wednesday night, January 15th. Next episode is on Saturday, around noon. We back, man. I couldn't be happier. From my knowledge, what Dev told me, we're going to be back on iTunes. He's going to set up the Spotify page and everything. But we will sure be on iTunes, so you guys will get this episode. It'll be on your iTunes for sure. As soon as it's up on Spotify, I'll let you guys know. But for sure, we got the platform on iTunes. Again, make sure you guys check out Nights of Waifu. We might take over the podcast airways this year. You know what I mean? We really might. You might catch me at a location or two. I plan on doing an episode next week at the Funko Museum in Hollywood. I called the other day. They said they don't mind people do shit like that all the time. They sit down and do episodes like at the statue. They just sit down and just do, you know what I mean, do whatever they want to do. So definitely want to do episode there. And I would definitely want to do an episode in San Pedro at the seafood spot while on a boat. We want a nice little tour of San Pedro. See some dolphins while I do a podcast. See some Lay's potato chips, 50 cents. Get a canned soda for $1. Just do a podcast right there. It's the small things in life, man. You are tuned into the Rotation Podcast, 2020 edition. See y'all soon.